Brothers and sisters, welcome to our today's NJO program of the 8th of February 2019. My name is Odon Bulamba. I will be the presenter of this program and I will be with you for the next few minutes. If this is your first time to watch us, we will strongly advise you to go to the button which is next to me on my left side. Click on it, on the left side of the screen, click on it and then subscribe yourself. Then there is a bell which is down there. You can click on that bell. And after that, whenever we are online, whenever we are on air, you can easily be alerted and you can watch our program live. Once again, thank you for trusting us. Thank you for choosing us. And today is another day. Let us move to our headlines. Félix Tshisekedi, the Congolese president who met with the Congolese diaspora of Kenya, he said to them, we will do everything so that the next year school year is free. We will do everything so that the next school year is free. During the same meeting, the president of the DRC told the Congolese community of Kenya that exile is over, asylum is over now, political refugees, it's over, so it's time to go back home. So in the same area, while being in Kenya, he also told the president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, that the Congolese Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, is ready to join the community of East African states. That will take us straight away to the University of Kisangani, where several materials were damaged and the head or the chancellor of the university was sequestered. And Fayulu to Guterres, who said how to make Congolese accept that someone who had less than 17% to become the president of the republic. Fayulu really responded to the interview that Guterres, Antonio Guterres, the General Secretary of the United Nations, had on RFI. Then we'll go back home again. We're in Matadi. People of this company known as the SCPT, they are back to work. They have regained work again because they were reassured to be paid on next Monday. And finally, I will tell you that there is a African Union summit in which Félix Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, has to hold his first ever speech. This meeting is this weekend. So these are the news that we have to talk about today, and around its end I will talk about one topic, and my topic will be only based on a couple of points or one point about the meeting of Tshisekedi and the Congolese community or Congolese diaspora of Kenya. Once again, welcome to our program and thank you for choosing us. Let us go to the details of our news. During the exchange with the Congolese community in Kenya, Félix Antoine Tshisekedi, the president of the DRC, promised this Thursday, February 7th, 2019, his commitment to free primary, secondary and vocational education from the next school year, meaning 2020. It was during the exchange with this community that the president said, we will do everything to ensure that the next school year is free for high school and primary school, as well as we will do everything we can to improve. All children under the age of 18, even those in villages, must go to school. That was the message of Félix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, the president of DRC. What he says is true, and it was just to confirm what our constitution, the Congolese constitution, says on its article 43, paragraph 5. It says that children who attend the primary school, who attend secondary school or vocational school, or what you call basic education, should be given free to them. However, Tshisekedi added, to get there, you also need to change your mindset. You need to build the schools. It's a long-term plan. And the immediate need now is to improve the framework. He didn't stop there. While talking to the Congolese diaspora of Kenya, Tshisekedi continued to tell them that exile is over, asylum is over, political asylum is now at its end. All Congolese have to go home. There is enough space, there is enough room. If there are any who have hurt, the victim will go to the competent court and will open files. But never again we will drive away our compatriots. They live abroad in difficult conditions, he said, recalling his commitment to work with everyone. While in Kenya, and Tshisekedi, while he was talking to the President Uhuru Kenyatta before to fly to Brazzaville, Félix Tshisekedi said that his country, or the DRC, was ready to join the East African community, which is composed, which its members are Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, South Sudan, and Tanzania. The East African community launched in 2010 its own common market for goods, for labor, and for capital in the region. The East African region covers an area of 1.8 million kilometers square with a population of about 150 million and has significant natural resources. The headquarters of this organization, EAC, or East African Community, is in Arusha in Tanzania, and this organization is currently headed by Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. Straight away we go to the University of Kisangani, where the situation was late in the afternoon, a little bit tense. So that was because there was an incident where students demonstrated after the arrest of two of their comrades by the police for their alleged involvement in a murder of a man, a thief, nearby the university. So therefore, students were waiting for the police to come, and the police did the investigation and identified that two people or some people were involved and were arrested. That was today. Therefore, students besieged the campus, sequestrated the acting chancellor of the university, and they held him between 11 and 3 p.m. They burnt motorcycles, they burnt vehicles, and everything they found on their ways. They threw also projectiles to the police. And in revenge, as you know, the police also reposted, and there were damages of a few things here and there. But the police, however, were able to rescue the chancellor who was the acting chancellor who was held hostage. So at the end of the day, so the situation come back to normal, but we'll let you know more or further whenever we will be up to date again. Martin Fayulu told Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the General Secretary of the UN, had spoken about the situation in the DRC as a guest of a French radio, International French Radio, RFI. He gave his opinion on the expectations, issues, and challenges for the new leader. For Martin Fayulu, it is now necessary to cooperate. For Guterres, it's now necessary to cooperate with the new authorities. This does not endorse Lamuka's candidate Martin Fayulu. Antonio Guterres seemed to have turned the page, and he said, regardless of what happened, there is today an established situation. In my opinion, I must cooperate with the Congo and its authorities to help the country overcome the enormous difficulties that the country still faces. It must be said that there is a wind of hope blowing in Africa. In general, we are talking about negative things that come from Africa. However, the candidate of Lamuka, Martin Fayulu, replied to that or reposted to that declaration of Antonio Guterres. He was also invited to the French radio, the international radio. He said, I note that the Secretary General of the UN does not forget what happened in the DRC. That is to say, the election held up. But my reaction is that it is as if Congo was an exceptional country compared to what is happening in Venezuela, for instance, where the international community seems to opt for the organization of new elections. For him, it is difficult to accept the position of Guterres. He said, the problem today is how to make Congolese and indeed the whole world to accept that someone who has had less than 17% is President of the Republic, while the one who has more than 62% cannot exercise the power. If the international community wants to kill democracy in the Congo, let us know. Let them tell us. Who is this Congolese person or Congolese citizen who will still be able to trust the elections tomorrow? He asked himself. The Inter-Union of Agents of the Congolese Postal and Communication Company, SCPT, has decided to suspend the strike started last month after a compromise reached on Wednesday, February 6, with the authorities of the company under the mediation of the General Inspection of the Job. The CEO of the SCPT, who was also present in the meeting, agreed to start payroll from Monday, 19th of February 2019. And this pay will only concern the month of November 2018 and will be done after the banking formalities of each agent are done. Payment for other areas, December 2018, January 2019, will be subject of another meeting between the three parties, which is planned for the 15th of February, according to the Memorandum of Understanding. On the sideline of the African Union Summit that opened this weekend in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, the president of DRC, Félix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, will hold his first ever speech to the African head of state after his inauguration at the head of the country. The head of state will certainly have the opportunity to meet some African heads of state who were absent during the oath. In addition to this, the AU or African Union Summit will also be marked by the placing of orders of this organization between the Rwandan President Paul Kagame, outgoing president, and the President of Egypt Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the incoming president. So this is our news today, and let us now go to our analysis. And today I'm going to talk about what Tshisekedi told the people of Congo in Nairobi, Kenya. He said to them, we'll do everything so that the next school year is free. Furthermore, he said to those who are in exile to start to come back home because there is no any danger somehow, or they have to come back home because there is space to there. It's like, okay, everything is over now, come back home. This is what I'm going to talk about. During this meeting, the president of the Congo, he said he will do everything to ensure that the next school year is free for high school, primary school, and vocational trainings. And he will do everything so that everything can be improved. Furthermore, those who are under 18 and even those who live in villages, they have to go to school. Meaning that the government is going to cover their fees and everything and prepare things for them, for their future, for their bright future. However, to get there, he added, we need to change our mentality, our mindset, and we need to build schools. And this is not something of being done today, it's a long-term plan. But in the meantime, let us improve the framework, he said. To be honest with you, while I was a young person, we could see colleagues, our colleagues in classrooms, our colleagues at university, our colleagues in our educational system that time were not only Congolese. Several people, hundreds if not thousands of people who used to come from different corners of Africa to come to study in the Congo. Because our educational system was highly ranked. People who used to live in Uganda, South Africa, Rwanda, Burundi, to name a few countries, Kenya and so on, to come to study in the Congo because our educational system was highly ranked. It was really recognized that in Congo, democratic education was really at the highest level in Africa. We were among the best in Africa. The quality of our education left nothing to be desired. People loved it. People could really learn. And once you hold your diploma or your degree from Congo, it was really, really prestigious. But we have lost that quality of education. And we have lost it because of the low funding for education has taken place into our country. It has affected also the quality of the education in DRC. The government started to lowering the funding for education. And as you know, whenever teachers, whenever lecturers, whenever professors, they don't get enough for their salaries, they decide maybe to start to choose a second job. They had decided maybe to teach children just superficially and prepare more challenging tests, more challenging exams, so that whenever students will fail, they will come back to them and bribe, and they will buy better notes in order to pass the subjects. And this is how corruption, bribery, started to step into the educational system of Congo. Although Tshisekedi today has promised to cover the fees, to make the basic studies to be free of charge, but I think that first of all he should, or we should together, make the mentality of the Congolese people to be free completely, to be freed. We should work on that aspect first of all. How can our mentality, we Congolese people, can be switched on, can be changed, so that we can understand that we are killing our own country, our own nation. Although people may complain, may say, yeah, look, the educational system is corrupt, but there is a thing to ask ourselves. Even if today we give to those lectures $5,000 per month as salary, because the corruption is already circulating in the blood of the Congolese people, in the blood of the educational system, this will never or will not help to improve the education in the Congo. Giving to them more money, not paying parents, allowing parents to not pay any more teachers in order to teach their children, may still not bring the solution for this educational problem. On one aspect, yeah, teachers will have their salaries, book and all study materials will be available, but will student mind be ready to learn, to assimilate their lessons? Will student brain be ready to study as normal student and move forward? Is this going really to bring back the reputation of our education in the DRC? Today we can see at primary school level, because of the funding for education were lowered, teachers will ask primary school students to bring money, to bribe them. They will send them home. Tell your mom, tell your dad, each of you must bring 50 Congolese francs tomorrow. Without that, I will not mark your assignment, I will not mark your homework, I will not mark your quizzes. And parents have to do so. Parents do it day after day. Because for parents, we have to help our children to finish their studies. And once they finish, they'll become somebody's. Tomorrow they will help us. But by bribing, by giving money to those students who are 7 years old, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12, give to them some money, give this to your teacher in order to get good or better mark, we are contributing to kill ourselves, our children, their future, the future of our country, and the reputation of our country, as well as our educational system. And I've seen pupils who will go to see a teacher. I've got a $5. Here it is, give me 90%. I've got a $10 note, give to me 95%. And teachers, because they have no other way to survive, they will accept that money, not just not, I'll give you 90% as you want, here it is, give me some money. And people don't, or students don't study anymore. They don't do their homework, they don't read their books, they don't prepare themselves as a student, you know, they don't care about studies. But what they care about is, okay, at the end of the year, I must fund $50, I must fund $200 to bribe my teachers, to bribe my lectures, to bribe my institution. And they pass. This is on one aspect. Even sometimes girls, boys, they can give their bodies to have a sexual relationship with teachers in order to have better mark or to have a, you know, better note, and then they can pass. And that is common. I shouldn't only blame teachers who accept to be bribed. I should not only blame students who bribe teachers. As I said, even if Mr. Tshisekedi will give to teachers even $1 million each as a monthly salary or yearly salaries, these people will continue to take a $10 note that a student will give to him or her in order to get 90%. Because the mentality is rotten. Because the people still live in that old fashion of corruption. And therefore, as Tshisekedi said, and I keep saying it day after day, we need to change our mentality. And it's not only students, it's not only about the teachers, but also parents. Parents sometimes will even invite the teachers at home. And they will tell the teachers, look, this is my son, this is my boy, this is my daughter. I want to see her pass. I want to see her pass. Take some money, take a goat, maybe a sheep, one maybe bag of rice. Or they will cook a very nice meal at home. They will invite the teacher will come to have a dinner with this family. They will impress the teacher and the teacher will become a friend of that family and the child of that family will never fail. Whenever they fail, they will let them pass. And you have seen other parents who will use pressure, will put pressure on teachers. Don't you know, I'm a soldier, I'm a general, I'm a colonel, I'm a major, I'm this and that. My son must pass. If he doesn't pass, forget about your life. They intimidate even teachers. And all of that, instead of pushing our children, supporting our children to do their studies, we let them enjoy playing on their mobile phones, being on Facebook 24/7, being on YouTube, WhatsApp, and so on, instead of studying. And tomorrow, when they go to school, they fail, we blame teachers. Or again, we say, okay, let us use money, or let us use whatever we have to help these children of ours. That is a wrong help. We are killing our nation, we are killing our children, we are killing the future of our country. And why that? Because parents are saying, oh yeah, I want my children to finish their studies so that tomorrow they will become someone in this country. How are they going to become someone in this country while they didn't study? I would say, instead you have been teaching them how to become good bribers, good corrupt men and women who will destroy the country 100%. We are teaching them a bad living life, a bad style of life which is corrupt. We are corrupting their morals, we are corrupting their mind, we are corrupting their heart, even their philosophy. So now if we train them that way, who is going to employ them tomorrow? And whoever will employ them, you can imagine what will be the result. And wherever they go, the parents, they will tell all their friends, oh, you know, my child has completed this year with 80%. My child is maybe in Form 4 or Form 3, has completed his studies with 75%. Call that child and say to that child, 1 + 1 minus 1. The child may tell you equals 3. Don't be shocked. And it's not only about the teachers, parents, and pupils, even those who are the body of educational system in our country. They are all corrupt. If you don't want to deal with teachers straight away, to deal with, principals at school, go just one step above. Meet with those that we call inspectors back home. And those inspectors will impose the teacher. We want to see that child passing. Such a child is a child of someone. He is a child of the governor. This is a son of the mayor. This is a son of this. And the children of always he has to be the top at school, while they cannot even write down their own names. And this is not only at the level of primary school, not only at the level of secondary school, but also at the level of universities, where you'll find someone who has never attended any lecture, has never gone to school, but that person has a PhD, and that person cannot write or read. When they think, you'll think that, okay, this is maybe a 5-year-old child who is thinking, excuse me to say that, Forgive me for that if you are hurt, but that is the truth. And once our children will finish now, they are Form 4, secondary school or high school, they have to go through the national examination. And in the Congo, we have now high schools which have got a good reputation. Whenever your child is registered, is enrolled to that school, it's a must for that child of yours to have his diploma or certificate of completing the high school. Certificate of high school completion. It's a must. Once they are just accepted to be a student of that high school, that is it. And those type of high schools are now everywhere. And they call themselves maximum, 100%. You know, whenever we go there, we as a 100% phenomenon. And what happens? The school will collect money for those who are in the last year, in Form 4 maybe. And they will put money together. They will take that package of money. They will go into the capital city, Kinshasa, and they will bribe those who deliver the diplomas, those who correct those national examination will be bribed. And all the children from that school will have their diplomas. And sometimes even they will be like, you know, oh, we have to bargain. Okay, the last one from our school, we want the stupidest student from our school, we want him or her to have a 75%. And I can tell you those people will do so because of bribery in that educational system of DRC. And I've even seen a student who did not present those exams because that student passed away before the examination. The diploma or the certificate of that student came back, passed with 87%, and that person doesn't exist anymore. So you can see at which level our educational system is rotten because of corruption. What can we say? Tshisekedi can, yes, cover that side because actually parents are the one who pay teachers in order to teach their children. Even if the government will pay, but the question still is there. Is our mentality going to change? Is this really going to be done next year, 2020? I think there it's not possible. What Tshisekedi said, yeah, he's right to say whatever he said, but after all, we have to think there are steps to be made between a word and accomplishment of those words, or fulfillment of what we said. Miracle exists. We don't deny that. Things can happen. We don't deny that. But in this case, let us wait and see. Furthermore, here the schools can be attended with any student who is under the age of 18, even in villages in the Congo. Truly speaking, there are villages in the Congo where it's even impossible to reach there. Vehicles don't have access. Actually, we are living in the 21st century. There are villages in the Congo where children have never seen a car. They don't even know what is a vehicle. And whenever they can see maybe a plane, an airplane passes in the sky, everybody runs away to go and hide themselves. How are we going to implement schools there? He said we need to build school, but who is going to do it? How? And in those small villages, you'll find parents who want their children to study, but they don't have qualified teachers. Therefore, parents who have a little knowledge, they can start to teach their children. They don't know any pedagogy, only methodology of teaching. They have no idea how to teach, who to teach, where to teach, and they have no idea how to prepare lessons and so on. But they just try to teach their children. Meaning that those people, they don't have only lack of money to pay for their children to go to school, but they also do not have teachers. They do not have schools, and they do not have the capacities or abilities to run a school or materials and all of that. So they have nothing. Is this really going to be changed in less than a year? In the next, going back to school term? I doubt. I doubt. And to do all of this, we need money. Money is needed. Does the government of the Congo actually have money? Money to do all of this? To reach villages, you need road. To reach those people there, you need the means to do it. Although we can say Congo is rich, yes, but even to, as I said last time, even to explore those wealth of Congo, you need money, you need machinery, you need people, you need time. And I'm sure there, Félix Tshisekedi, unless he will die, he will do a type of magic which will make that to happen. And by himself, he can't do anything. He needs support of ours. That way he said this project is a long-term project. So this is a political language. By 2020, next time we will do something, around our nation, but I'm telling you that it will never happen around the whole country. It may start somewhere, but it can never and ever be done everywhere at once. How many teachers do we have? You can imagine that. How much money do we pay them per month? Parents can tell you. Where will the government will get that money and start to do it? With the budget that Félix Tshisekedi Chilombo presented to us during the campaign. It won't work. Never. It will never work. And secondly, although that may be there, the salary might be there, but what will the result of the studies be? Will the education improve because the teachers are getting money? I think no. Whenever we'll give him a $500 salary, he will believe that, okay, yeah, because someone is giving to me another 100, yeah, 5,000 will buy this, or 500. I will use it on this way, and the one that I got as a bribery, this can feed my children. We are killing our country. We are killing our children. We are killing our nation. We are. And we are. And in order to change this, we need all together, I insist again, to change our mentality, our way of thinking. Don't only think, yes, I want to see my child to be a holder of a diploma, of a degree, while there is nothing, there is nothing. And whenever it's time now for your child to become a minister of the Congo tomorrow, a member of, a parliament member, an MP tomorrow, what is he going to do in the parliament? What is he going to do in the executive council? What is he going to do in his office somewhere? Shame. Shame on you, parent. Shame on me, parent, because we are the one who have been killing our country. And you can tell everybody everywhere, our country is really corrupt. People are really bad. The government has to help us to end the corruption. How will the government end this corruption if you keep teaching it to your own children? We are the first one to start to end this corruption because we initiate it. And we should fight hard, work hard to stop it. That's where also the government can take or can make the second step. However, Tshisekedi continued and told those who are now asylum seekers to come back. Asylum is over, come back home. Hang on. To go back home where? In the Congo? Possibly yes, but look at the situation of the Congo. What can I say about this? First of all, remember, this is about politics. Tshisekedi has been using a political speech, a political language. This does not necessarily mean that, okay, you people who are in Kenya, those who are asylum seekers in Europe, come back home now because everything is safe. The land is there, as he said, you know, there is place, there is room here, come back home. Yes, that is true, a room can be there. We don't deny that. But after coming back home, what are they going to gain? Are they going to find a job? Are they going to find the school where their children will study? Are they going to find money to pay for their children's studies? How will life going to be when they come back home? What is in place to welcome those people back home? And many Congolese today are asylum seekers. Many Congolese are today refugees in different countries. And I'll talk about maybe two groups of refugees. A group of refugees from the Congo, they are around maybe other countries around the world in refugee camps. And in the refugee camps, where they live actually, their lives are far better than compared to those who are in the Congo. In the refugee camps, they will have a food, although it's minimum, it's a small amount of food, but they are fed. They get something to eat. They get something to feed their children. In the refugee camps where they live, there are schools, although they are not, you know, great school in the world, but there are schools, and some of those schools teach our children better programs compared to the programs that we get back home. Some of the schools have, or I mean, they don't have, or again, they have maybe a little bit of bribery, corruption. You get your note, those marks will be given to you as you deserve them. Teachers make a follow-up. Students study seriously. Although some of the teachers are refugees themselves, but they very often they follow the programs, either of that country or their program back home. In a refugee camp, whenever a child becomes sick, there is medicine there are doctors there, or nurses are present. Things that they don't have in Congo. To have access to a doctor in the Congo, you know. And all of that, all of those things are pushing me, you, other people to say no. Better to continue a refugee till things are clean and clear back home. And for those who are lucky from those refugee camps, they may find a third country to be resettled. They can go. And there, their children will continue to study better, and they'll come back to Congo to help Congo. Now we have got those who live in Europe, those who are asylum seekers in developed countries, where there are no refugee camps. They are also welcomed, they are helped, they are supported. And they are not supported because they are happy to be there and just get those benefits, but also because they have the right to be assisted. They are asylum seekers. They were pushed out from their country. They ran away because they feared to be persecuted. And wherever they are now, they feel like here we are sheltered, we are in peace. At least our lives are not exposed to death anymore. And today Tshisekedi is telling people, go back home now. To do what? Unless if Kabila, because many people ran away from this government of Kabila. Many of them are today in exile because of Kabila. Unless those people will hear tomorrow that yes, Tshisekedi has arrested Kabila, Kabila is in jail, yes, those refugees may say, yes, let us go back home. These asylum seekers may say, yes, the situation is clear and clean now. Kabila doesn't exist anymore in the system, is locked somewhere. He is facing justice. But the surprising thing, the mockery of the story is that Kabila is free. He's like a lion moving free, you know, around the bush. It's like asking me to jump someone's fence while the dogs in that fence are not chained. They are walking free. If Even if you tell me, yeah, the dog is just behind the house, don't fear, don't be afraid, walk in, jump the fence, and nothing will happen. I will tell you, thank you, no, I'm not going there. It's known that FCC, that political platform of Félix Tshisekedi, has been working hand in hand with the platform which is known as Cash of Félix Tshisekedi and Vital Kamerhe, FCC of Kabila, sorry. There is a marriage between those two platforms. The marriage between the platform of Kabila plus the marriage between the platform of Tshisekedi. Let us work together. Tshisekedi himself called Kabila a partner. So now, if the partner of yours was the one who persecuted the Congolese yesterday, was the one who put them to death yesterday, was the one who pushed them out yesterday, how can you tell those Congolese people, come back now? My partner, my friend, is just behind the scene, is behind the house, come back home, the land is yours. You can yourself come out with a conclusion. What I want to say is this, even the UNHCR, you know, the United Nations, they will tell people, do you want to go back home? That is a voluntary repatriation. If you want, we'll take you back. And this can never and ever be done just for political reasons. You know, people come back home, then to do what? To die? To be killed? Today, many people will tell you, oh, the power in place, you know, it's not clean and clear enough, actually. Let us wait and see. Maybe Tshisekedi was saying this, you know, in long term. Let us see what would happen. But we all understand at this moment, Kabila is still moving around free, roaring like a lion. And even promised, he promised the nations, in 2023, I will come back. What do you think? So now, I will encourage those countries which welcome refugees from the Congo, countries which welcome those refugees and asylum seekers, to not be distracted. Continue to deal with the Congolese cases. Continue to consider them, because you know very well the situation in the Congo. Things are not right. Things actually are not where they should be. There is a serious problem, political problem in the Congo that you know better than me. Things are not good at all. We saw, I will just give you the example of those who were, 2 days ago, I told you on the news, 2 days ago, they were told to leave Angola and go back home because you have now a new regime. You have got a new government. Go back home. And those poor Congolese brothers and of ours, they are starving now in Kamako. They don't know where to go. Nothing was prepared for them. No one is ready to welcome them. They are just there at the border of the country. So if Kenya hasn't yet asked the refugees to go back home, or any other country, why to tell them to come back home now? Finish the exile. Finish the asylum. Political language, that's true. But people should think first of all about their safety. What is your safety if you go back to Congo today? What will be the safety of that asylum seeker if you, the immigration officer of one country, you have decided to deport, to send back that Congolese person? You know what can happen. You know very well. Everything is shaken in the Congo, actually. Congo is going through the eruption of political crisis. It's a volcano in a political term. Political volcano in a political term, if you want, in the Congo. Congo is crossing serious crisis, political crisis. Sending people back there is just killing them. It is just killing their children, their future, and the whole of them. May God bless the Congo. Our Congo is one country. It will remain one. It will continue to be one. If we unite together in love, then we will build our country. Your contribution, although it's small, my contribution, little as it is, your actions, our prayers, our love of each other will make us to be the winners. May God bless you. May God bless our country. May God bless our lives forever and ever. Goodbye for now and see you next time.